Good evening, Portage Central basketball fans, and welcome into the Portage Central Gymnasium. You're watching the Mustangs of Portage Central play host the Lancers of Lakeshore exclusively on the Portage Central YouTube channel presented by PCTV. I'm Drew Lawler alongside Karsten Cooper, and we'll be calling all the action this evening. The Mustangs came into this game fresh off a hard-fought loss to Otsego on Tuesday as they fell by the score of 66-58. On the other side, the Lancers are coming off a 57-28 win over South Haven on Tuesday night. But tonight's a new night, and who will come out victorious in this smack showdown? We will find off, and we tip it off after the national anthem and starting lineups.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Portage Central High School, home of the Mustangs. This is Varsity boys basketball. We welcome our guests from the Lakeshore, the Lancers. In a moment, your starting lineups. But at this time, we please ask that you stand as we honor the United States of America with the playing of our national anthem. Officials tonight, Jerry Burgess, Todd Goodman, and Arnold Taylor. And now the starting lineups. First for our visitors, the Lancers from the Lakeshore. Head coach Sean Schrader. Starting at guard, number 11, sophomore Jack Carlisle. Starting at guard, freshman, number 13, J.J. Frakes. Starting at guard, junior, number 14, Jackson Boopshoe. Starting at forward, number 31, junior, Ryan Worthmacher. And starting at forward, number 33, senior, T.J. Mitchell. And now the starting lineups for the Portage Central Mustangs. Acting head coach tonight, Casey Higginson. Acting assistant coaches tonight, Gerald Blasingame and Rick Lawrence. Starting at guard, number 11, senior, Caleb Johnson. Starting at guard, number 12, senior, Cole Mason. Starting at forward, number 20, senior, Grant Pickard. Starting at forward, senior, number 24, Will Juday. And starting at forward, number 30, senior, Jackson Gwynn.
Those are your starting lineups. If you missed them for Lakeshore, it's Jack Carlisle, J.J. Frakes, Jackson Bouchou, Ryan Korfmacher, and T.J. Mitchell. And for the Mustangs, Caleb Johnson, Cole Mason, Grant Pickard, Will Juday, and Jackson Gwynn. Cole saves a tip from going out of bounds, and we are underway here from Portage Central. Mason gives to Johnson, the top of the key. Back to the guard, Mason. Jude takes a dribble, gives it to Gwynn. His three-pointer is good.
That's what you want to see from Portage Central early, passing the ball around, getting an open three.
Gwynn gets the first bucket of the game, and the Mustangs lead 3-zip here with 7:15 to play in this first quarter. Lancers get the ball, a nice cut, and a nice finish there for Jack Carlisle. Mustangs fast the other way. Johnson's drive is good. Fast pace here early. Mustangs with the early three-point lead. Carlisle's drive and floater, no good, and rebounded by Cole Mason. Mason gives to Jude, back to Mason. His three left it short and rebounded by T.J. Mitchell. And looks like the Lancers turn it over there.
Both teams are getting much far into the timer, so they're looking for fast shots, and that can lead to turnovers.
So it's going to be Jack Carlisle with the travel call. And the Mustangs, they had a hot start last game. Did not work great for them. They're trying to turn that around here. Mason in trouble, tries to pass to Johnson and throws it out of bounds. Little pressure here from the Mustangs early. Carlisle passes to the Korfmacher. And now Bouchou. Carlisle looked inside, gives it to Mitchell. Mitchell to drive the Euro step, high off the glass, no good, but Grant Pickart takes the charge down the middle.
Great play from Grant Pickart there.
Foul goes against T.J. Mitchell. He was the leading scorer in the Lancers' win against South Haven on Tuesday. He scored 19 points in that blowout victory. Pickard on the drive, kicks to Jude, who pump fakes, drives with the left hand, down to Gwynn and stripped away. Here comes the Lancers, J.J. Frakes. The Euro step off the rim and good. Nice touch there by J.J. Frakes. Mustangs lead 5-4. Pickard on the near side. He's going to hoist up a three, in and out, but Johnson's there for the rebound, and a foul is going to go against Lakeshore, and that's going to be on Jack Carlisle. That's his first. It's going to be the team's second of the quarter.
Lancers foul number 11, Jack Carlisle. First personal, second team foul.
Johnson's going to pass it in with 5:25 here in this first quarter. Johnson pump fakes and drives, kicks out to Mason, and Mason, who is in his first varsity start of his career, is going to set things up for the Mustangs on offense. Johnson looks for Jude, drives himself instead. Pickard's got it with 5 to play in the quarter. Jude fires from the top of the key, too strong. Ball loose and corralled by Jack Carlisle on Lakeshore.
Central settling for too many jumpers right now.
Bouchou has it near the timeline. Now T.J. Mitchell over to Frakes. High intensity on the defensive end here for the Mustangs. Bouchou gives to Mitchell. Mitchell driving on Gwynn, floats it from the free throw line, leaves it short and into the hands of Pickard. Here come the Mustangs. Johnson going in for the lay-in, and it's good.
Nice finish by Caleb Johnson there.
Caleb Johnson with 4 points early in this one. And the Mustangs lead 7-4 as the pressure for the Mustangs leads to sloppy ball there from the Lancers, and it's going to be a jump ball called on the floor, the possession arrow in favor of Lakeshore.
In for the Lancers, number 4, Brandon.
Jackson Bouchou is going to pass the ball in halfway through the first quarter. Lakeshore looking for something on this possession. Bouchou. Now Frakes. Nothing going here for the Lancers on offense, as it looks like Grant Pickart commits the foul on the defensive end. That's going to be his first foul of the game. Carson, early on, it looks like the Mustangs, very high intensity on defense, and it looks to be paying off.
Yeah, they're really picking apart those passing lanes, getting easy steals.
As that said, Johnson almost gets a steal, but back into the hands of the Lancers. And now Bouchou brings it up, and there goes Pickart, gets a hand on it, tries to save it from going out of bounds, but it ends up out of bounds on the near sideline. But that's going to be enough to concern the head coach of the Lancers, Sean Schrader, and he is going to call the first timeout of the game. 7-4 Mustangs lead with 3 minutes and 22 seconds to play in this first quarter. You're watching Portage Central basketball on the Portage Central YouTube channel. Mustangs with the pressure out of the timeout. Mitchell gonna shoot a three at the top of the key, no good. Rebounded by Beach now, the sophomore. Here come the Stangs. Pickart, opposite corner to Johnson, a wide open corner three, too strong. Johnson fights for the rebound, but it's in the hands of the Lancers, and here they come down the floor. Frakes has it. Swings it to the other side, Hodder. Frakes the three, too strong. Jude almost got the rebound, but it's tipped out of bounds by TJ Mitchell, and the Mustangs will get possession back. 7-4 Mustangs as Owen Mushaushik brings it up the court. Johnson trying to drive baseline. Nice defense there by Bouchou. Pickart, the drive. Pass across the court to Mushaushik. His three off the mark, too strong. And now Frakes brings it up. Mustangs with the early three-point lead, but a highly physical defensive game here early. Here's a kick out and a shot from Hodder. No good. Rebound into the hands of Frakes. Frakes floats it up, and he gets it to go 7-6. Frakes got 4 points early. Pickart, top of the key. In and out again. Beach now fighting for it. But once again, Bouchou gets the rebound, and here come the Lancers on a 3v2. Pickart almost gets the steal there against Bouchou.
Lancers have to be stronger with their passes. They're just letting them get tipped too easily.
Mitchell with a physical drive on Jude. He gets the basket and the foul call. He'll go to the line as the Lancers take their lead. They're up 8-7.
Mitchell at the line, shooting one. Into the game for the Lancers, number 23, Zach Gordon. In for the Mustangs, number 23, Zach Stewart. And number 40, Nate Vaughn.
So the Mustangs have a younger lineup in right now. Owen Mushaushik and Alex Beach now, both sophomores. Nate Long and Zach Stewart, both in as juniors. Will Jude, the lone senior, out in the court for the Mustangs.
Also in for Lancers, number 11, Jack Carter.
Mitchell's free throw too strong. He almost gets his own rebound, but a nice box out there by Zach Stewart. Jude loses control, throws the ball out of bounds, and with 1:14 in this quarter, the Lancers will get the ball back up by 1.
Second, first team, third team foul. In for Mustangs, number 30, Jackson Williams. And for Lakeshore, number 34, Jake Shelman.
Mitchell looks down low. A nice kick out there by Bushu. Under a minute here from Portage Central in the first quarter, where the Lancers lead 8-7. Bushu, pass inside to Chelman. Chelman off too strong, no good. Mitchell try to get it in off the rebound, cannot, and then a foul is called against TJ Mitchell, and that's a ginormous foul against the Lancers. That's TJ Mitchell, who led in scoring against South Haven. That's his second foul of the game.
Both teams are playing very aggressive defense early on.
Mustangs come down the court trailing by 1. Beach now's got it, now Mason. Gwynn on the far side with 25 seconds to go. He shoots a 3. Too strong. Stewart tries to tip the rebound out, but he goes over the back of Zach Ort on the Lancers. And that'll be a foul against Zach Stewart, and the Lancers will get the ball back with 21 seconds in this first quarter.
Personal, fourth team foul.
$13 to go. Korfmacher has it. Now in the corner is Hodder. It's a kick out, shot from the corner. Hodder, no good, too strong, rebounded by Zach Stewart. And that will do it for the first quarter here from Portage Central. After 8 minutes of play, the Lakeshore Lancers on the road lead the Portage Central Mustangs 8-7. You're watching Portage Central basketball on the Portage Central YouTube channel, powered by PCTV. Back at Portage Central, where the Mustangs trail by 1. Their senior point guard bringing the ball up. Here's Zach Stewart. Pickart looks inside the long, cannot get it in. And now Mason resets. Mason tried to pass to Stewart. Nice defense there by the Lancers. And that's Brandon Hodder, who almost forced a turnover for the Lancers. Pickart gets into Mason as The Mustangs started off hot, but since then, in a little bit of a scoring drought. They try to break that here, but Zach Stewart travels at the top of the key.
Well, the Lancers are just doing a really good job of protecting the paint and really not even letting them get in the paint.
For Mustangs, Caleb Johnson. In Lakeshore, number 14, Jackson Boucher.
Boucher crosses the timeline. And Lakeshore moving the ball pretty well here. Here's Hodder. Over to Korfmacher. Now Carlisle's got it on the near side. Boucher, kick out back to Carlisle. As the student section starts to make some noise. Boucher, a kick out. Here's a drive by Hodder. Gets double teamed. Nice trap there by Nate Long. And it's a long defensive possession, and Coach Higgison on the PC sideline is ecstatic about this. He's the coach tonight, filling in for Coach Ray Robinson. 6:36 left in this first half. Hodder drives, contact, no call either way. Ends up in the hands of Pickart, and then he gets tackled by the Lancers. That's going to go against Jackson Boucher. That's going to be his first foul, so nothing to worry about so far. Now the Mustangs, desperate for a score, trying to get one here. There's a Pickart shot, off the mark again, and a foul goes against the Mustangs. So they'll call that on Nate Long, the junior's first foul of the game.
Mustangs are just taking too many perimeter shots.
Yeah, it seems like they're shooting a lot of threes. Most of them are looking pretty good off the hands, but just coming up a little long, a little short. And that's not going to work for the rest of this game. Let's see if they fix that up soon enough, as Pickart and Johnson trap on the near side, and they call a foul against them. It's going to be against Caleb Johnson. Caleb Johnson, the leading scorer the other night against Otsego, with 20 points. He's going to need to get some here. He's got 4 early on. Boucher barely gets it in to Carlisle. And now the Lancers try to set up their offense. Johnson comes up to guard Frakes. Almost stolen away by Pickart, but into the hands of Korfmacher. Carlisle, again, almost turned over. Johnson that time almost got the steal, but Boucher gets it handily. Now Carlisle tries to drive baseline, double coming, tipped by Long, and there's a pass inside by Boucher, in the finish there by Jake Chelman.
Portage Central needs a bucket right now.
Beautiful possession there by Lakeshore. Some near turnovers. Mustangs don't convert, and 2 easy points for the Lancers. 10-7, Mustangs down by 3. Getting desperate for a bucket by the minute. Pickart gonna try to drive baseline, spins, finds a cutting Gwynn. What a play by the Mustangs.
Grant Pickart has made some really nice passes here earlier in this game.
The Mustangs have 9 points, and 5 of those come from Jackson Gwynn, the senior forward. So that's a nice start by him early on in this one. So Boucher. Now Frakes. Carlisle trying to set something up, a screen from Chelman. Pass the corner and Boucher. And Lakeshore's got some pretty decent buckets, Karsten, but they're all coming pretty tough with this Mustang D.
Yeah, both teams are playing a really physical defense right now, but Lakeshore's just taking advantage of missed switches and getting into the paint.
Speaking of that good defense, Grant Pickart tips the ball out of bounds towards the bench. We've seen a lot of those tip passes early on in this one, but unable to convert on the other end.
Sometimes those tip passes put them in bad spots because they're out of their right rotation.
Yeah, good call there, Karsten. Just over 4 to play as the Lancers turn it over. So Mason, who's once again in his first start on varsity for the Mustangs, sets it up. Johnson drives, and they call a charge against Johnson, who was trying to drive on the left baseline, and Bouchou was there to take the charge. That's a big foul against Caleb Johnson, who led scoring the other night. He now has 2 fouls, and he has to get checked out of the game. Mustangs in their diamond press. Carlisle breaks it. And Lakeshore's done a pretty nice job of breaking the Mustang press. It's been a little bit of trouble in the half court, but they've ended up scoring and just getting to the half court against this rough PC press, Karsten. It's a pretty good accomplishment.
Yeah, they definitely had some nice entry passes into the paint.
Another long possession for the Lancers as Korfmacher looks inside and finds J.J. Frakes for an and one.
Just what we were talking about. That was a great entry pass to get him into the paint and a tough finish.
A foul went against Owen Mushaushik, the sophomore in for the Mustangs. And Frakes cannot convert on the free throw, too strong, and Pickart is coming down the court fast. Pickart, the drive, the beautiful move, and the finish on the lay-in for Grant Pickart. Double from Mason and Jude. They avoid the turnover and into the hands of Bouchou. Nice pass there by Korfmacher and a block by Gwynn, and here come the Mustangs. Mushaushik kicks to Mason in the corner. Extra pass to Pickart. Pickart drives once again. Nice left hand. Foul called. It'll go against the defense. And J.J. Frakes. That's going to be his first foul of the game. And Pickart will go to the line to try to give the Mustangs their first lead in quite some time.
The momentum's kind of starting to swing in their favor.
Pickart with a deep breath, puts up the first free throw, and it is money. Pickart, who had 9 points the other night against Otsego, converts on his second free throw. And Pickart's got 4. And before the Mustangs set up their press, the acting coach tonight, Casey Higginson, calls his first timeout. The Mustangs now lead 13-12 on the Lakeshore Lancers. You're watching Portage Central basketball on the Portage Central YouTube channel. Mustangs back in a press coming out of the timeout, and it looks to be a little bit of a different press, giving the Lancers a different look after the Mustangs take a lead. Korfmacher. Frakes over to Carlisle. Tight defense by Mason on Bouchou. 2:15 to play in this first half here at Portage Central. Korfmacher turns it over on the pass, and the Mustangs will get the ball back with 2:08 to play.
Lakeshore on a bit of cold streak right now.
Yeah, both teams streaky here early. Mustangs went in a little drought, now they're making some buckets. And the Lakeshore's kind of on one now, early stages. Here's a three from Long.
That's not a great shot for Portage Central.
Fast break by the Lancers. Carlisle, the tough shot with the right hand is good for Jack Carlisle. He gets his 4th point of the night.
Tempo's picking up.
Mason finds a Pickard in motion. Pickard lays it in and one. And Grant Pickard with 6 consecutive points, going for 7 at the line.
Great answer by Grant Pickard.
Pickard nails his free throw. And the Mustangs lead 16-14. Under 2 minutes to play here in this first half, as a foul is going to be called against the aggressive Owen Bushauschik. The Lancers are in the bonus. They will be shooting a 1-and-1. And the first free throw too strong by Bouchou. Gwynn on the floor. Multiple bodies on the floor. Aggressive play there by both sides. It's a jump ball, then Lakeshore will retain possession.
Lakeshore's doing a good job getting offensive rebounds.
Both teams trying to find momentum before the half. As Bouchou tries to pass the ball in, gets it in to Carlisle. Pickard once again almost gets the steal, but now Hodder has it. Sloppy pass, Bouchou corralled it. And Bouchou trying to make something happen here on the offensive end. Tight play from Gwynn against Carlisle. As the Lancers running some clock, we get underneath 1 minute to play here in this half, as the lay-in is no good by Carlisle. Ball out of bounds. It will stay with the Lancers, as it looks like Cole Mason holding onto his eye/head area. Looked like he might have been bumped. Maybe got something in his eye. But he's staying in the game, and the Mustangs in the 2-3 zone out of the inbounds. Bouchou to the corner. Risky pass by Carlisle. Johnson tips it away. Close to a breakaway, but out of bounds in the near side with 38.2 to play in this first half. Bouchou bringing it up on this long possession. And they most likely are trying to run some clock and trying to prevent a Mustang score on the other end before the half. Here's a three by Hodder. Off the mark, in and out. Long gets the rebound, falls to the ground, and they call it travel against Nate Long.
Well, the story of the first half for the Lancers has been they've dominated time of possession. They've had a lot of long possessions. Well, Central's tempo is much faster.
15.5 here in the half. Bouchou has it with 10. Bouchou orchestrating a final play. 3 seconds. Bouchou drives, kicks, a hoist by Hodder. Short, and that will do it for the first half here from Portage Central. a low scoring but a physical defensive game here at Portage Central as the Mustangs lead the Lakeshore Lancers 16-14 at the half. We'll be back in 10 minutes. You're watching Portage Central basketball on the Portage Central YouTube channel. Welcome back to this exclusive presentation of Portage Central basketball on the Portage Central YouTube channel. Currently, the Mustangs lead 16-14 over the Lakeshore Lancers as we start the second half. Starters in for the Mustangs, and I believe the same goes for Lakeshore. Mason going to orchestrate the offense as we start the fourth half for both teams of each season. Mason going to shoot a three early. Too short. Loose ball. Johnson on the floor. Bodies an avalanche of them on the ground, and that's going to be a jump ball. Lakeshore has possession.
Caleb Johnson has been hustling really hard all night for these loose balls and tip passes.
So TJ Mitchell, the leading scorer of the first game, didn't play much in the first due to foul troubles. Pass the ball in. Here's a three from Frakes. Bounces in for Lakeshore. That ball bounced twice and landed inside the rim for three. Pickard tries a three. That won't go. Jackson Gwynn tries to save it. But he's out of bounds. It will be Lakeshore ball.
Both teams shot poorly from three in the first half, so to see that three go in is really nice for the Lancers.
Bouchou. Mitchell trying to move. Pickard playing nice D on him. Pickard comes over, blocks the shot of Korfmacher, and Gwynn's got it. Pickard finds Jude by the Mustang bench. Back up to Mason, and Mason will set it up. Johnson gonna pull a three. That one won't go. Jude tries for the rebound. It's off his hand and will be Lakeshore ball. Carson, the Mustangs are getting decent shots up, especially from deep, and they just can't get them to fall.
They just haven't been hitting their threes, but they're going to start hitting them eventually, and Lakeshore's going to pay.
Coach Casey Higginson on the Mustang sideline calling their second timeout of the game as at the 6:33 mark of this third quarter. We'll be back in 15. Bouchou brings it out across the timeline out of the Mustang timeout. Mitchell with the screen. They call it a moving screen against TJ Mitchell. A rough call against the Lancers. That's going to be TJ Mitchell's third foul of this game on a questionable moving screen call. And now Coach Schrader over on the Lancer sideline going to have to make decisions about TJ Mitchell as the Lancers and Jackson Bouchou almost steals the ball, but a foul is called against him. So Bouchou gets his second foul. Back-to-back fouls against the Lancers as they lead by one. Jackson from the top of the key. He gets it. Jackson Gwynn's got 8 of the night, including 2 3-pointers. Carson, get this. The Mustangs have made 2 3-pointers of the night, both of them coming off the fingertips of Jackson Gwynn.
Get him the ball. He's got the hot hand. Give it to him.
Frakes gives it to Carlisle. Johnson hits it out of bounds with 5:24, and the Lancers will keep the basketball. So this Mustang team only has 3 scorers so far. Johnson has 4, Pickard has 7, and Jackson Gwynn has 8. Other than that, zeros for the rest of the team. Breaking the double is Bouchou. He kicks to Carlisle, no good. And Long gets the rebound. The pass to Mason is tipped out of bounds. But the Mustangs, with 5:08 here in the third quarter, will take it out from under the basket and get a possession.
There may only be 3 scores for the Mustangs, but everybody on that court's presence has definitely felt on defense.
Yeah, the Mustangs have been spectacular on the defensive end. The offensive end, they've got some pretty good shots, just can't get them to go. As here's Gwynn again. Can't hit, too short. And here comes Mitchell. Mitchell, the kick out, a 3-pointer from Frakes. No good. Gwynn with the rebound. Mason almost throws out of bounds. It's saved by Johnson. Pickard gives it to a slipping Gwynn, and the ball's turned over. Bouchou over to Korfmacher. Frakes looking inside to Mitchell, who's guarded by Pickard, and instead gives it to Jack Carlisle at the top of the key. Mitchell looking to create some offense. Frakes got it, guarded by Will Jude. Here's a drive by Carlisle, and he's bumped and fouled. The foul is going to go against Cole Mason. That's going to be his first foul, I believe. And it is confirmed. So the Lancers pass them with 4 minutes here in this third quarter. Bouchou calling out a play and gives it to Mitchell. Mitchell drives, spins, and gets fouled by Grant Pickard as he tried to go up for the lay-in. And Mitchell remains on the ground as he looks a bit shaken up. We hope that Mitchell's okay. He's holding on to his wrist, it looks like.
Yeah, a bit of an awkward landing.
So the Mustangs get to their huddle, and as soon as they do, Mitchell and the Lancers are ready to play. So Mitchell, that wrist is going to hurt for a little bit, but he remains okay to stay in this game. Mitchell too strong off the lip of the backboard. And Mitchell's second one leaves it short, but bounces around and goes. The Lancers have been to the line a decent amount of time so far, and that's their first free throw made in this game. Pickard drives, looks for Long, pass tipped out of bounds. They say it's off the Mustangs, and the Lancers get a chance to take the lead. They're down 1. Bouchou over to Mitchell as Coach Sean Schrader calls a timeout on the Lakeshore sideline, which leaves both teams with 3 timeouts remaining. With 3:24 to play, Lakeshore trails by 1. 19-18, the Mustangs lead. You're watching Portage Central basketball on the Portage Central YouTube channel. Looking back on Tuesday, the Mustangs in their loss scored 58 points, and the Lancers scored 57 in their win. So both teams in their mid-50s on their first game. They're each held beneath 20 points with less than 12 total minutes to play. Mitchell, double teams coming for the Mustangs. Mitchell is open inside. They don't see it. Risky lob pass. And Bouchou is going to try to reset against this new Mustang defense. Doubles coming everywhere. And Bouchou gives to Carlisle. Mitchell trapped in the corner, finds Frakes. The kick out to Carlisle and back to Bouchou. Mitchell driving baseline. Gives it to a cutting Lancer and Korfmacher off the mark, but a foul is called. Some solid Mustang defense there. A new look we haven't seen so far today, and it looked to work pretty well, but ends up in a foul against the Mustangs. And that goes against Will Jude, and that's his third foul.
In that situation, if you're Portage Central, you're okay with that Lancer foul. They've struggled all day on free throws as they make one, but you're okay with that foul.
Yeah, as you said, Korfmacher hits the first foul shot for his first point of the game.
It's been a very grinded out game for both teams, and it has been close the whole time, so this game definitely could go down to the last possession.
Korfmacher makes his second free throw, and just like that, the Lancers take a lead. They're up 20-19. Mustangs coming down the court fast. Pickard almost fired a three at the top of the key and decides to run the offense. Pickard guarded by Bouchou, finds a cutting Johnson, a nice cut by Johnson, a nice pass by Pickard, and that will result in two.
Both teams starting to get it going.
Caleb Johnson and Grant Pickard, two of the three scorers for the Mustangs involved in that score there, as the Mustangs retake the lead. 21-20, 2:08 to play here at Portage Central as Mitchell and Grant Pickard get into it. No foul call. Something to watch for down low. Frakes, and now Bouchou standing with the basketball with 1:45 in this third quarter. Bouchou in a little bit of trouble. Frakes drives, and a foul is called against Owen Mushaushik on the floor. So before that dunk, a foul against Owen Mushaushik. That's going to be his third foul. And it will be the team's fourth foul. Foul trouble, not much of a concern right now, as no one has over 3 fouls in this game. Frakes going with the left hand. Bouchou over to Mitchell. Mitchell guarded by Pickard, now Gwynn. Mitchell floats it up. Nice defense by Gwynn, but the rebound ends up being corralled by Long, who gives it to Pickard. And Pickard is going to come down the floor with just over a minute to play. There's a steal by Mitchell, a one-on-one. Mitchell goes up, can't get a shot off, and he's fouled hard by Grant Pickard. And that's going to be Pickard's third foul, I believe, so no foul trouble for him. But TJ Mitchell a little bit shaken up after the foul call.
Yeah, TJ Mitchell's definitely been getting banged up on the post this game.
Yeah, 2 hard fouls against Mitchell under the rim. The first one results in a little bit of a wrist injury, but he looks fine from that. And that one, I don't really know if he got hurt, but he does look a little bit shaken up.
Yeah, definitely a really tough foul from Grant Pickard.
Yeah, good thing Mitchell's okay as Mitchell hits the first free throw.
His wrist doesn't seem to be bothering him.
Mitchell second, leaves it short, rebounded by Long, and we are tied at 21 with 54 seconds to play. Johnson guarded by Bouchou. Mason calling out a play. Long's got it on the wing. Gwynn, who's made a couple threes tonight, just opts not to shoot. As we hit the 30-second mark in this third quarter. Mustangs looking like they'll run the rest of the clock down from this third quarter. As we get to 20 seconds, Gwynn gets the pass. Mason's got it in the corner. And Coach Higgison on the Portage Central sideline uses his third timeout to discuss a play here in the last 16 seconds of the quarter. We're knotted up at 21 here at Portage Central as the Lancers and the Mustangs both have scored 21 points, and we'll be back in a minute. Back here at Portage Central with 16 seconds to play in this third quarter of what has been a very close and defensive game. Mason gonna dribble it with 10 seconds on the clock. Mitchell gets the turnover, and Mitchell slams it home to take the lead for the Lancers. No shot from Mason. As time expires in the third quarter, what a steal by Mitchell, what a dunk by Mitchell to give the Lancers a 2-point lead at the end of the third quarter. 23-21. The Lancers lead. 24 minutes down, 8 minutes to go here from Portage Central. We'll be back in a minute. $7:50 to go here in the game. Mustangs trail by 2, a pass inside to a double team. And the Lancers go down the court, ball out of bounds, and will stay with the Lancers with 7:41. Johnson tips it out of bounds. We've seen that a lot from the Mustangs today. They're playing pretty physical defense, so a lot of tips, but they're not fully getting a turnover.
Which has led to a lot of long possessions.
Yeah, we'll see if that will change here in these next 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Lakeshore's got the ball with a 2-point lead. Trouble down low for Carlisle, keeps it in bounds, and Bushu ends up with it. What was almost a turnover ends up in a foul on the Mustangs, and that goes against Will Jude, and that's a big foul. That's Will Jude's 4th foul, first player in this game to reach 4 fouls. Mitchell's got it. Over to Carlisle, guarded by Pickard. Mason face guards Bushu. Carlisle's got it on the far side. Here's Mitchell, guarded by a small Mason. Mitchell leaves it short. And the Mustangs come down the floor trying to tie things up. Pickard with a spin inside, falls over on a double team, and it is a travel against Pickard. Maybe a little bit of contact. He wants the foul, but the ref deemed it wasn't enough contact, and that will be a travel on Pickard. .640 to play. Mitchell's got it. Now Ort. Back to Carlisle. Carlisle drives and gives it back to Bushu. The Lancers in no rush to score as Mitchell and Pickard get after it again under the basket. A lot of contact between them tonight as the Lancers and head coach Sean Schrader burn another timeout. 6:11 to play. The Lancers lead 23-21. You're watching Portage Central basketball on the Portage Central YouTube channel. We'll be back in 1 minute. Lakeshore inbounds it with 6:09. Ort. Mitchell on Pickard. That's the matchup we're all watching. Here's Bushu. Gives it to Ort. His three-pointer from the top of the key. Too strong. Mitchell and Pickard fight for the rebound, and Pickard's got it. 5:45 to play. A drive by Jude, and the pass is stripped by Korfmacher. And they say it went off Jude after the Korfmacher strip. The Mustang crowd not huge fans of that one, but nonetheless goes to the Lancers with 5:43 to play. Foul call against Mason as Jackson Bushu was handling the basketball. And that's the 7th team foul against the Mustangs. So Lakeshore will be in the bonus.
The Mustangs have been streaky all day, and right now they're on a cold streak. Definitely need a bucket soon.
The free throw by Bouchou is good, and he'll get a second opportunity. And I believe that is Bouchou's first points of this game. And Bouchou hits the second. No, it rims in and out. Pickard with the rebound. Lancers lead by 3. Still a one-possession game as Mitchell almost gets the turnover. But the Mustangs will keep the basketball. Foul off the ball. And it looks like it's going to go against Jack Carlisle down low, who is guarding Caleb Johnson in the paint. So Carlisle's got 2 fouls. 5:20 to play. Mason's got it, now Johnson. The Mustangs looking for offense. Jude in the post, kick out to Gwynn. His three-pointer from the corner, no good, and into the hands of TJ Mitchell. And his pass is off the mark. That was intended towards Jackson Bouchou, but instead the Mustangs will take over with 5:08. Jude looks inside to Pickard, and a foul is called against Bouchou, who is fighting with Pickard down low in the post.
Lakeshore, foul number 14, Jackson Bouchou, third personal fourth, team foul.
Pickard gets it, goes up with it, can't convert, but it looks like it's going to be another foul against Bouchou. And that's going to be his third. And Pickard knocks in his first free throw with ease. Pickard second, once again, easy money. 24-23, the Lancers only lead by a point with 4:48 to play. Johnson, physical defense against Carlisle. Mitchell's got it, guarded by Johnson. A kick out to the corner. Hodder pump fakes, and now the ball back at the top. Mitchell's got it, a nice pass inside to Frakes, and Franks bakes it home. JJ Frakes has 11 points on the night. There's a nice drive by Pickard, and a foul goes against the Lancers once again. And Pickard's drawn 3 or 4 fouls against the Lancers in the last few possessions.
Yeah, he senses that his team needs a bucket. He's starting to play really aggressive.
So interesting stat from this Mustang offense. Against Otsego on Tuesday, they had 7 different players who scored a bucket. This game, only 3. So we'll see if that stands for the rest of this game, as the Mustangs just looking for any type of score here with 4:09 play. Risky pass by Johnson, and turns it over. Hodder lays it up, and good. Hodder gets his first 2 points of the night. And now the Mustangs trail by 5. Now you have to think that the Mustangs have a little sense of urgency here, trailing by 2 possessions with 3:45 in this game.
But what they don't need to do is take a 3. They still have enough time where a two-pointer would work.
Pickard gonna reset this offense. Pickard gonna take it himself. Out of control, and a foul is called. The charge taken by Ryan Korfmacher, and that will be Grant's 4th foul. So Alex Beach now is going to check in for Grant Pickard. Pickard, who leads his team in scoring tonight with 9 points, a crucial part of this Mustang team is going to have to take the bench for a little bit of time as the Mustangs bring out their diamond press.
Pickard needs to be aggressive, but he doesn't. He needs to think before some of these moves that he's doing.
Mitchell face guarded by Gwynn, making it a tough pass. And I thought for a second it'd be a 5-second call, but instead it's going to be a 30-second timeout by Sean Schrader on the Lancers sideline. 3:29 to play. The Lancers lead by 5. A bit of sense of urgency for the Mustangs on this upcoming possession. So it's J.J. Frakes to trigger it in front of the Mustang bench. Takes a little bit, but gets it to Carlisle. Pressure coming by the Mustangs. Nice break there by Mitchell. Mitchell post up Jude. Can't get the fadeaway bucket to go, but a foul is going to be called against one of those 3 men down low for the Mustangs. So it goes against Beach now, which isn't the worst case scenario for the Mustangs because Jude was down low, and that would have been his 5th foul. As Mitchell misses his first free throw. The second, no good again. But the offensive rebound by Ryan Korfmacher, and now Mason hits the deck, and Pickard gets it. Pickard gets fouled on his way up to the rim.
Grant Pickard checked back into the game and immediately brought some intensity off the bench.
Pickard goes to the line, trying to make it a 1-possession game. Pickard's first free throw is good. Pickard's second, no good. Bounced off the rim a few times, but couldn't get it to go. And now pressure in the corner, and Gwynn's got it. Pickard spins out. Jude for 3. No good. It's stripped away from Pickard. Pickard can't get it to go. Jude gets the rebound. Jude puts it up, and Jude puts it in. Couple of steals there for the Mustangs resulted in a Jude layup. And with 2:45 to play, the Mustangs now trail only by 2.
Lakeshore needs to get back to their brand of basketball. Slow tempo, take smart shots.
Student sections here at Portage Central are getting loud with 2 minutes and 30 seconds to play. TJ Mitchell. Mitchell cuts, doesn't get the pass. Frakes over to Carlisle. Carlisle back to Bouchou and back to the hands of TJ Mitchell. Mitchell, the free throw line jumper, no good, and into the hands of Will Jude. And now the Mustangs with a chance to tie or take the lead with 2 minutes to play in this ball game. Johnson thought about it. Mason the drive. The mid-range is good. Cole Mason tied things up at 28. As the ball goes out of bounds. So we've got a tie ball game here with 1:37. The last 2 buckets were made by Cole Mason and Will Jude, which was both their first buckets. So we've got a little bit of variety from the Mustangs when it comes to scoring now, which will help their team.
Mustangs press is really working against Lakeshore right now.
Yeah, the Lancers tried to pass it in. That was Jack Carlisle trying to find a Lancer on the court. And instead, he had to burn their final timeout.
The Portage Central student section is alive right now.
So the Mustangs with 2 more points than Lakeshore in this fourth quarter. All the quarters pretty even, which makes sense. We've got an even game here at 28.
Portage Central's finally starting to get some of their other guys going. This has been a game of runs for both teams, and Lakeshore needs to get on one soon.
So this press, the last couple of possessions, has worked very well for the Mustangs. And now they get a chance to set it back up here with 1:37. No timeouts remaining for Lakeshore. The lob pass is good for Carlisle. And Carlisle, with numbers, gets hit by his own teammate, Mitchell. A little dicey there for the Lancers, but all is well for them in Bouchou. Now Mitchell has the basketball. No sense of urgency really from the Lancers, as they may very well just hold for the final shot. But there's still over a minute to play. Korfmacher finds Bouchou. Now Mitchell inside. Goes around Pickart, can't finish, and in the rebound. Put back shot goes in for TJ Mitchell.
Big shot by TJ Mitchell.
Mitchell's got 8. 42 seconds remain. The Mustangs trail by 2. And Coach Casey Higgison will burn his 4th timeout with 40 seconds to play. We'll be back in a minute. .4 remain. Pickart to trigger it in. Gets it to Johnson. And Cole trying to orchestrate this offense to tie the game or possibly take the lead in the final seconds. Pickart trying to drive on Mitchell. Looks inside to Johnson. Johnson kicking out to Mason. Fakes the shot, gives it to Jude. Can't get it to fall, but a foul is called. It looks like on the floor against Bouchou, which if it's against Bouchou will be his 4th.
Big free throws for Will Jude.
Check that, that's Bouchou's 5th foul, so he's out of this game. And now Will Jude will shoot a 1 and 1. A little icing the shooter here from the referees, but now we're ready to go. Jude, a 1-1. Both free throws will tie the basketball game. Jude's first is money. One more coming from Will Jude.
This could be the game.
His second short. And Jude fights for the ball. Looked like it could have been a jump ball. Decent effort from Jude, but the refs call a foul on Jude. And that's going to be Will Jude's 5th foul. So he hits one, misses the second, but not worst case scenario.
I would have had to foul anyways.
Yeah, Frakes at the line. He's played a good game. He has 11 points. Has not hit a free throw yet today, though. And worst case scenario for the Mustangs, if he hits both, it is still a 1-possession game. Frakes' first free throw is good. The Mustang crowd in the student section getting very loud on the free throw. And even louder this time. His second free throw off the rim, rebounded by Long. 13 seconds. Pickard driving down the middle, spins, gives it to Mason. Mason goes up, and a hard foul against the Lancers. And with 8.8 seconds on the clock, Cole Mason, the senior, in his first varsity start of his basketball career, will go to the line to try to tie this game. Mason's first too strong. It was a shooting foul, so he gets 2. So Carson, make or miss here. It's going to be a 1-point game. Are you in the proponent of trying to miss on purpose here, or just hitting it and then fouling on the inbounds?
I think I'd hit it and then go for the foul because Portage Central still has a timeout. They could still drop a play for that final possession.
Ref blows it dead. It looks like the Portage Central sideline has a bit of an issue with the scoreboard. Not 100% sure what that's about. But the referees discuss it as both teams come to the huddle. It's obviously not intentional, but that is icing the shooter after one free throw is never an ideal spot for a shooter to be in.
This free throw is really important because if they do miss that and they foul and Lakeshore gets both free throws, that would make it a 2-possession game.
So in a game that's been back and forth, a 2-point game with 7.9 seconds to go, the referees are at the scores table.
Looks like they added some more time on the
Yeah, they
clock.
bring it up to 8.8 seconds. So they added an extra 9/10 of a second, which every 10th of a second is crucial at the end of these games. So finally, Mason is on for his second free throw. Too strong into the hands of Mitchell, and a foul going against the Mustangs. Looks like they're going to get Jackson Gwynn on that foul.
Mitchell has struggled from the free throw line today.
So Mitchell hits 2 free throws as Jackson Gwynn gets his first foul. If Mitchell hits both of these, it's almost, I can't say for sure in this crazy sport, but it's almost sealed. If he hits one, it's still anyone's chance. If he makes 0, well, we all know what the answer to that one is. Mitchell's first. Gets it in. Mitchell with 10 points so far, and an all-important free throw up 3. Mitchell second, no good. Pickard starts to go down the court, and the head coach of the Mustangs tonight, Casey Higgison, uses his last timeout with 6 seconds to play. All right, Karsten, so we have a 6-point game, and if you're Casey Higgison in that huddle for the Mustangs, what kind of play are you drawing up for your offensive squad?
Well, the odds of making a three right now with the struggle they have from shooting the three all night, you almost want to go in for the and one, but I think it's just safer for a three from maybe Jackson Gwynn. He's been great from three today.
Yeah, Jackson Gwynn, the lone Mustang to hit a three-pointer in this game. And let's not forget the high school rules. If you go in for a layup here, like you said they could do, and try to get a foul, the clock continues to run after a made basket. So if the Lancers wanted to, they could just stand there and run the clock out. So yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I think you do need a three here. And if you're the Lancers, do you foul here up three? Or yeah, up three?
I think you would.
Yeah, that's been a trend of late in basketball, fouling up three.
Central may get a fast shot, maybe get fouled on the three-point.
But we will see how this plays out. It will be Mason to pass the ball in with 6 seconds to play.
Ball will be in Caleb Johnson's hands.
Johnson gets it with 5. No fouls yet. Johnson with 2. Johnson for 3. No good. It's too strong. And the Lancers of Lakeshore get their second victory of the season in a 32-29 defensive battle here at Portage Central.
Both teams really went for it tonight. Grit and grind game. A lot of fouls, slow tempo. And in the end, Lakeshore comes out with it. They dominated the time of possession today. Didn't make as many fouls as Portage Central did.
So that will end this game with a final score of Lakeshore 32 and the Mustangs 29. Thank you all for tuning into this exclusive coverage of Portage Central Mustang basketball on the Portage Central YouTube channel, powered by PCTV. Make sure you turn in for the next broadcast as the girls play their first home game of the season against Gull Lake. Until then, for Karsten Cooper and the rest of our amazing PCTV crew, I'm Drew Lawler saying so long from Portage Central.